Oh yeah, here we go. It's story time with Keren, the girl on fire. I'm not yelling because you might be at home reading this with your kids, or you might be someplace in a public place and I can't scream at you. So this is so exciting. This is Stephen. Oh, I didn't tell you yet. This is the reading of the 30 Days books. If you were to start from scratch and had to start over, what would you do if you lost everything? Now, I promised you that I'd read you the chapter, and it is a long book, and I don't want you getting distracted. Remember, we're putting those blinders on, so I'm going to read you the one chapter so you don't have to wait for the book to come. So you're going to know the plan. We're not building the OFA funnel. We're building this one. Are you ready? Here we go. Oh, this is the only chapter that matters from the capitalist pig. If you don't know who he is, you will soon. And yes, I won't promote all of his stuff. But yes, this is coming to you from the capitalist pig. If you want to get one of these hats, you've got to stick with me through my journey, okay? You'll understand what all that is very soon. So this is page 128, the only page that matters. It's Stephen Larsen, and he is and was Russell's top funnel builder forever until he started to do his own. And he was the only, other than Russell Brunson, 2 Comma Club coach. Cool? So we're going to follow his system. So this is page 128. We're about 10 pages, and then we should be done. Okay? So Stephen Larsen, funnel builder. Funnel building and MLM is his niche. Stephen J. Larsen. For 2 years, Stephen Larsen was the lead funnel builder at ClickFunnels for Russell Brunson and put over 500 under his belt. But honestly, lost track a year ago. His podcast, Sales Funnel Radio, which is now done, by the way, was created to share best practices, teach the finer points of marketing and funnelology, and frankly, oh my kitten, and frankly, teach the finer points of marketing and funnelology. Wow. Should we just start that over? And nerd out as long as others keep listening. Long walks on the beach aren't his thing, but he loves slapping 5. This is my message to you. You can do this even if you're not perfect, even if you don't do everything perfectly, even if you don't turn off your phone and your cat is loving you. So how I'd restart in 30 days if I lost everything. Dun, dun, dun. Because my situation is so dire in this example, it's already extremely followable and talkable. I'm going to use that to my advantage. Instead of hiding, get it? Rather than keep my current state quiet, I'd get loud about it. Anything I can do from this moment on will be documented in detail over a daily podcast, plus Instagram, and a new Facebook group for others to follow, which is what I did with the Brunson Stack Army. Each day, you will have both a business building aspect and a publishing aspect. I can start one with a free RSS, rich site summary feed into the iTunes at Ophonic. I go directly into selling mid-priced info products to those seeking wealth. I like how simple the pitch is and how it is more easily lets me sell to those who have money. That's a typo. Day 1. The first day would be a lot of research. Before I do anything else, I go look up the top money-making podcasts and list out the biggest and most frequent publishers. I want to know what products podcasters have been talking about and promoting recently. I also want to see what the products these podcasters are using in their ad money to promote. I type these product names from the podcasters into Google, YouTube, and Facebook, and click on the ads that show up. The keywords, how to make money, are obviously a huge red ocean. I want to see what others are buying and what other communities already exist. Day 1 is successful when I've found several info products about making money that are also being talked about by influential podcasters, have ad money behind them, and have active internet communities. Tomorrow, I start podcasting. Day 2. Beyond selling a cool product, I need to sell a cool idea. Today, I look for the bigger complaints on the existing info products I found. I want to find the ideas that sold the product and look for the big one I don't agree with at all, almost on a moral level. This idea will help me throw rocks at the ocean and not the person. People can rally with that, regardless of the product. Then I'd write and create a podcast intro and outro that includes my rally for the red ocean to change. My intro would briefly tell everyone my personal intense situation and that they should follow to watch my next moves. And then I take steps away from the red ocean. My outro would invite them to my free Facebook page. In today's episode, our first 4 episodes are just the story portion of a webinar, but dripped out over 4 episodes. So today I publish my origin story. Day 3, my morning would be spent listing the A, B, and C level influencers and podcasters in the red ocean. I'd reach out for a few video interviews that would be turned into podcasts. I tried to get at least 7. In today's episode, before publishing, I'd read forums and Facebook groups in the red ocean. I want to find other main beliefs that they have about what it takes to be successful that I don't agree with. I'd use the Epiphany Bridge script to write, record, and publish a story to break and rebuild that major false belief. Day 4. Today, I'd interview 3 red ocean experts on video. It's fine if they're C-level influencers. The prompts would be, what are the 3 biggest pitfalls a new person needs to watch out for in order to get wealth? And what is the single greatest thing a new person could do to speed up their success towards wealth? These would be combined to use my podcast freebie download. In today's episode, I'll use the Epiphany Bridge script to write, record, and publish a story to break and rebuild their second major false belief in the red ocean. Day 5. Today, I'd reteach in 3 videos what I learned from yesterday's interviews. I'll use these later. I'd make a 4th video as a call to action, or CTA, to join me on my free web class using the who, what, why, and how script. These videos will be used later. In today's episode, I'll use the Epiphany Bridge script to write, record, and publish a story to break and rebuild their 3rd major false belief. Day 6. Today's task is to create a publishing funnel by using one of the free opt-in templates on ClickFunnels. When visitors opt in on the first page, they get the videos of the 3 expert interviews I did. He did, not me. It'd be called The Hidden Pitfalls of Wealth Creation. Now I can start list building. The next 3 days, they'll get 3 more videos from me, reteaching in more depth what I learned from the experts. The 4th video will invite them to my free web class, but the page isn't built yet. In today's episode, my episode would thank everyone for listening and invite them to get my free course on avoiding hidden pitfalls. I'd be sure to make specific outro for this to push them to the funnel. Day 7. I'd rest and reflect today, smile, serve, meditate, envision my goal as if it already happened. Tony Robbins priming. Day 8. Today is more about the data. I'd spend the day asking forums and internet communities what they're struggling with on their journey to wealth. The goal is just to get clearer on where people aren't being served. I use the last half of the day asking gurus and sellers, how challenging is it to do what you do? Why? I doubt many will answer, but the ones who do will give you an idea of where the other sellers fail in their fulfillment. I'll use this later in my sales message and offer. This information will also let me know what testimonials I should find. Good stuff, right? In today's episode, I'd share several stories of rags to riches, including my own and how I lost it all. The CTA, call to action, for this episode is all about asking people why they're fed up with the pursuit of wealth. I'd send them to a Google form and collect their answers. Day 9. Today, I want to know, I didn't do my day 9. Today, I want to get to know a few more of the aggressive, critical, and more loud-mouthed consumers in the red ocean. Looking through Facebook groups and red ocean product communities, I want to find a few people I can get to know and see if I can help them. My aim is to give them value and eventually results for free if I have to.
I'll ask them to jump on a call with me, and if that doesn't work, I'll keep asking more. I only need a few. In today's episode, I'll interview a red ocean influencer about the common pitfalls and ask them to share the interview with their audience. Day 10. Today will be about getting results for consumers in the red ocean. It's highly likely I won't have the expertise they require. I'm looking for something I can latch onto or outsource in order to get results for the red ocean. As I try to help people one-on-one, I'll document the process that helps most. If a pattern appears, it'll become a checklist for future product. From this, I know where my new course can be prolific. I'll try to do it with at least 10 people. My goal is to find a purple ocean that isn't too blue with risk or red with saturated competition. These one-on-one interview sessions are critical in finding red ocean voids. In today's episode, I'll publish a few interviews with those who I was successfully able to help. Day 11. It's time to start building pressure for the launch. Today, I'll put together a waiting list page for people to opt in for the future product, early bird access and pricing. The page will list benefits and outcomes. Since I only have a rough draft of the actual offer at this point, the page will have testimonials of the people I've been able to help in person on a forum or community or other. In today's episode, I'll tell backstories of red ocean consumers I've met. There will be a new outro pushing people to the waiting list page. Day 12. I want to start creating more relationships with existing red ocean communities and their gurus for future joint venture or JV opportunities. Today, I'll Facebook Live into several communities and do nothing but help and teach based on what I've learned. It'll be some of my best stuff. I'll refer to those who reach out to me to my podcast freebie to get them indoctrinated. In today's episode, interview with Red Ocean Guru, preferably from the Facebook communities I just added value to. Day 13. Revisit my rough draft of the offer and make adjustments to the plan based on the Red Ocean community needs. Then I go back to another community, answer more questions, do more Facebook Lives, simply teaching. I'm trying to get known as the value adder. In today's episode, interview with a Red Ocean Guru, preferably from the Facebook communities I just added value to. Day 14. I'd rest and reflect today, smile, serve, meditate, envision my goal as if it already happened. Do that every morning, will you? Day 15. Today, I'd write my headline and promise for my webinar. Then I go back to another community, answer more questions, do more Facebook Lives, simply teaching. Again, I'm trying to get known as the value adder. One other thing I want to do today is list out all the common price points people are used to seeing and paying. Now I can charge just a little more and be seen as a premium course. In today's episode, interview with the Red Ocean Guru, preferably from the Facebook communities I just added value to. Day 16. Time to start preparing for the webinar itself. I build just my webinar registration process today because I have no cash in this scenario. I just go live on YouTube at the time of the webinar and embed the live feed in a ClickFunnels page that they can watch. I can use the app Talk.to or similar for live chat with those watching. I'd also build a registration page and a thank you page and add people to a list. I'd return to all the places I've been adding value, plus my own list from my podcast opt-ins, Facebook group, and Instagram, and begin promoting my free web class. In today's episode, talk about the exciting new web class that's coming up and tell people to go register. Plus, they'll get a free ClickFunnels funnel to attract leads for their big wealth-making deals. My affiliate link, of course. Day 17. It's time to get the webinar script and slides done. Use the perfect webinar script. It's a full day activity. I'd certainly practice it. Promote the webinar registration page with email, Facebook Live, and Instagram. In today's episode, interview with the Red Ocean Guru. Ask them to JV after the interview. Make mention of the new course coming out. Day 18. Create and order the confirmation page. Get video testimonials to put on the order page from a few people who have helped in the past. Also, I'd build an affiliate program and contest. I need to invite those I've interviewed to do a JV with me for a 50-50 split when I launch. Promoting the upcoming webinar to outlets again. In today's episode, review with the Red Ocean Guru. Mention the new course coming up. Day 19. The webinar is soon, so I'll create the members area where the course will be built. I'll look at the previous topics I found the Red Ocean struggling with and make the top 6 topics the titles of my 6 course modules. It's key that I ask what they're struggling with under each module. A simple Google form is enough to collect their responses. Now I can customize each module. It's part of my pitch that the course isn't done. Can I go over a special offer I made for you? Now, to be clear, the course is not done. Module 1 is launching in 2 weeks, which means you get early bird pricing today. This lets me prove that the idea works, and I get paid for it without wasting time making something that doesn't sell. I'd be sure to place the schedule of when each module launches on the first page of the members area. Promote the registration page like crazy through all the channels. Today's episode, talk about the few of the super prolific product topic ideas. Talk about JVs who've agreed to promote. Day 20. It's webinar day and it's a busy one. Time to let all that pressure I've built up hit my live broadcast page. It's best to deliver the script while standing up. Matters a lot. Then I'd create the replay page. Honestly, I'd give someone who has a funnel scripts my product for free if they let me log into their account and write the webinar follow-up sequence and cart close sequence. It's important to share numbers with potential JVs. I'd use the opportunity to schedule webinars with their audience next week. In today's episode, publish a few of my numbers on an episode and talk about the few of the people who bought. Invite the listeners to register for the next free web class opening. Day 21. I'd rest and reflect today. Smile, serve, meditate, and vision my goal as if it already happened. Day 22. This whole week would be used to create the product as fast as I could with the personal expectation that it's broken and I get to continue to improve it. My offer would include a live Facebook group Q&A session each week so I can start to see what else needs to be created and where the holes in the product are. I'd pull my phone and computer camera up and use buyer responses to create module 1. I'd also keep one JV webinar spot open today. Today, the cart closes at midnight for the people who didn't buy the offer yet. In today's episode, bring in a very happy student/buyer who visually appears to be sold on the importance of the product and has personally been bitten by the red ocean. Day 23. More filming today. I'd pull my phone or computer camera up and use buyer responses to create module 2. I'd also keep one JV webinar spot open today for someone I previously interviewed. The film editing would be simple. In today's episode, bring in a very happy student or buyer who visually appears to be sold on the importance of the products and has been, didn't I just read that? Sorry. Day 24. I pull my phone or computer and camera up and use buyer responses to create module 3. Again, keep one JV webinar spot open today. Today, I also want to reach out to people who saw the webinar but didn't buy. I want to know their reasoning. It's some of the most valuable info for my script editing. In today's episode, I'll very briefly ask about the last 3 modules I just filmed and the major red ocean problems they help solve. Then I tell everyone to go register for the next webinar class because it's opening again soon. Day 25. I pull my phone or computer camera up and use buyer responses to create module 4. I go into my attached Facebook group that came with the offer and find one of the hyper buyers to go through and create bullet point lists of the modules. I'll have those printed and sent to the future buyers. I'd use some money from previous sales for Red Ocean Gurus on Instagram to do some mentions and shoutouts. In today's episode, I'll talk about the affiliate program and the upcoming affiliate contest to win a free ticket to our 5K 2-day workshop coming soon. Day 26, lost track. I pull up my phone or computer and camera and use buyer responses to create module 5. It's time to make adjustments to the webinar script, headlines and stories, and offer before the next live web class. I look at feedback and rewrite whatever's needed. In today's episode, I'll talk about the adjustments I made, how I'm personally feeling about how everything is going, and where the product will keep helping to save people from the nasty red ocean in the future. Day 27. It's webinar day. Stand and deliver. After the webinar is over, I'll do another live Q&A for those who didn't buy. In today's episode, another passionate student/customer interview. Day 28. I'd rest and reflect today, smile, serve, meditate, and vision my goal as if it already happened. Day 29. I'd pull my phone or computer camera up and use buyer responses to create module 6. It's time to reach out to the red ocean relationships again and ask if they'd like to speak at the workshop. In today's episode, talk about my personal journey in industry, get vulnerable, talk about how knowledge and execution are the only things that matter, pre-framing for future workshop. Day 30. Last day. Download a free event funnel template from ClickFunnels. Email the list, message the Facebook group, go live wherever appropriate, and sell a limited 5K 2-day workshop. In today's episode, announce the upcoming workshop for those who want even more of a personal experience and make them apply to attend, though it's not open enrollment. Final thoughts. Funny enough, even in a situation of poverty and lack of opportunity is never the issue. The issue starts when the entrepreneur doesn't learn to say no. I've never met a successful person who didn't go through a period of sickening obsession over one idea for a period of time. I think it's key to give yourself an emotional license to suck at normal life things so that you can obsess. Also, my strategy places a heavy emphasis on publishing because whoever controls content controls ideas and beliefs. Plus, it lets me build a list, and it's kind of barter I can use when talking to other influencers. I don't want to spend time actually creating everything in my offer without knowing how well it sells first. So I test parts of the offer and ideas on my podcast. Last, I learned from Joe Polish, there's no relationship between being good and getting paid. But there's a huge relationship between being good at marketing and getting paid. With that in mind, there's no higher leverage skill a marketer can devote time to than that of storytelling. You'll learn how to affect the very blueprint that your customers use to see the world. It's a superpower. Boom, baby! And then he lists resources. ophonic.com, Facebook Live, Google Forms, and Talk.to. And I will put those in the listing for this video below. If you liked this, I'm super excited for you to be in the Brunson Stack Army. If you're reading this, you better already be in the Brunson Stack Army. That was our 30 days read with the only chapter that matters. If you are starting out, if you are a beginner, if you're more advanced, this is still a great strategy. So we're going to follow this strategy after we do the OFA. We've got the .com secrets books and the expert secrets books to refer to, and copywriting secrets books to refer to. If you don't know where to get those, check my resources page. And you are going to have the 2Com Club strategy from Russell's Top Funnel Builder. That's the end of our storytelling tonight. I am so grateful for your time. It's been Campfire Time with Keren, the girl on fire. You have a fire in your belly. Let's go get some, son. Right? Let's go get some. It's Monday, baby. Somewhere. I love you. Rise up. Be the change that you wish to see in the world, because if you don't change, no one's going to. I love you.